Phoenix Taylor is a political activist, entrepreneur, online personality, tattoo-covered, Dallas-based photographer. He is considered to be one of the most influential artists in his field across the globe, of which he is very proud. But don't let his assertive, matter-of-fact attitude scare you off. You may be infuriated by some of his opinions, but it's not likely you will be bored. He is an engaging, vulgar, bare-knuckled photographic artist that has defied many odds. And, as he likes to point out, he doesn't believe in fear.
No, I despise fear. I feel like one of my best accomplishments since I've been doing this is being able to get one of my items checked off my bucket list. I wanted to have an international art printing, and I got a job from Virgin Records where they took on a band and printed it in the UK and the United States as well under their EMI Music Group. The job paid upward of $11,000 for one job, so considering for one piece and body of work, I've never been paid that much. That was one of my career highlights.
Although Phoenix is very accomplished now, his future wasn't always so bright. He was born with type 3 Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a connective tissue disease. Phoenix has deformed heart valves because of the condition and was not supposed to live past his teen years.
As a child, I don't know, a little bit different bringing up, raised in a children's hospital. So my childhood's a little bit different than everyone else's. Most of my childhood memories are looking through glass doors or surgical rooms or x-ray rooms. So my personality didn't really start to be able to be developed according to my surroundings until I was a little bit further on in years.
Phoenix was born in East Tawas City, a small town in northern Michigan. His father was a military man in the Air Force, and after his 5-year stint in and out of the hospital, he moved around the country with his family from Air Force Base to Air Force Base. A few short years later, his little sister was born in South Dakota. From there, they moved to Oklahoma, where his mom and dad split up. At a young age, Phoenix quickly found himself the man of the house. He picked up odd jobs, such as being a farmhand, to help support his family. As a teenager, he developed an outreach program to spread the word of God and help the homeless, but he ultimately left his faith behind.
Ministry thing ended. I was going to a mega church, and for the people who know what mega churches are, they'll understand what I mean by that. My sister was molested and raped by a babysitter, and she was kind of suicidal and trying to damage herself in lots of ways. And there was no man at the house. My parents were divorced. And so one night I actually walked 2 miles to church, and I walked there so I could go. And I waited for service to end so I could find my pastor and tell him the situation and ask for his support through prayer. And after I told him everything that was going on in the house and asked him for help, he took a bulletin, like a little church bulletin, and he autographed the back of it, and he gave it back to me. And that was the end of the ministry for me. That was it. I kind of felt like, everybody finds a way to make money. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean that their heart's behind it. And going to church had now become like my leader of that church wasn't the guy I thought he was. He was the guy who didn't want to get emotionally or legally involved in the life of a little girl, and he was a superstar who knew how to make everyone wave money at him and give offering, but didn't really know how to look after a sheep.
He always had an insatiable love for comics and art and ultimately decided to go to a graphic arts school. After graduating, he realized there wasn't much of a demand for comics. He put his art on the wayside, moved to Dallas, and became a bar manager, as well as a door-to-door salesman. He slowly started selling his artwork to local tattoo galleries and began networking. Finally, he decided to hang up his Shakertons and only concentrate on his work.
Taking on side jobs, more photography related instead of art related, because I was already selling my art, illustrations. But I started taking on photography and trying to treat the photos as illustrations. Like, what would I draw? Can I create that in real life? And so I started doing that while I was being a manager over at Spike. It was a bar out in Mockingbird Station in Dallas, and the jobs got to be so much that my bartending and my responsibilities to that bar were falling behind because I was spending most of my time working on the photography end of things until eventually I just had to make a choice, you know. And my first month in business, I made more money than I ever made in a single month.
I just think that he likes to talk to people about whatever's on his mind. He'll tell you this himself, he has no filter.
I would say I try to be polite, but I don't try to be polite as much as I don't try to go overboard. But there is a right amount of truth, and that's where some people don't like to cause offense, so they stay on the nice side, the ridiculously nice side of things. And then some people like to cause drama, so they're on the ridiculously mean side. But right in the middle, there is a truth, and it hurts.
Although Phoenix faced a lot of adversity throughout his life, he still managed to persevere and find people willing to help him become the man he is today.
I encourage everyone to go out and find someone and ask to shadow them or help them or kind of live side by side with them and see if it's for you and see what you can learn that way. It's worth its weight in gold.